You can edit the track name, artist, year, album, composer, genre, and more. To edit a tag or to enter information where none exists, just type in a field. The other tabs let you change tags for things like media kind, equalizer preset, and more. Have a look to see their options. If you want to be able to view lyrics on your Mac or your iOS device, you can paste them in the lyrics tag. Finally, the Artwork tab is where you paste album art so you can tell your music apart at a glance. Here's a useful tip. While you're in the Info window, you can use keyboard shortcuts to move from tab to tab. Press Command 1 to go to the first tab, Command 2 to go to the second, and so on. You can also press Command N to go to the next track, and Command P to go to the previous track. If you select multiple tracks, then press Command I, the Info window that displays is a bit different. There are fewer tabs, and you can only edit tags that apply to all the selected tracks. For example, you can't change the name tag for multiple tracks, but you use this window to change the artist, album, or genre for a group of tracks. When you need to make more complicated changes to tags, AppleScript can come to the rescue. Doug Adams' website, Doug's Apple Scripts for iTunes, has hundreds of great scripts. Here's one example. Using the Remove N Characters from Front or Back script, I want to remove the word mono from each of the songs in Dylan's Blonde on Blonde album. I select all the tracks, then I go to the Script menu that iTunes displays when you've added Apple Scripts. I select the script, choose the number of characters to remove, check Back, then click Proceed. The script deletes all those characters faster than I could manually. There are many more Apple scripts that can save you time. Check out Doug Adams' website, www.dougscripts.com. Thanks for watching this Macworld video. I'm Senior Contributor Kirk McElhearn.
Hey everyone, I'm Armando Rodriguez of Tech Hive. I'm going to show you how to take a screenshot on your Android phone. It's super quick, super easy, and super simple, so let's get started. So I'm going to show you how to take a screenshot using this HTC One, but these instructions should work on any Android phone running 4.0 or higher. First, you find the power button, should be on the top or side of the phone, and the volume down button. Find the screen that you want to take a screenshot of, and hold the two buttons down simultaneously. You'll get a notification up on your notification bar once the screenshot's been saved to your gallery. Now if you have a Samsung phone, it's a little bit different. It works a lot like the iPhone, where you have to hold down the power button and the home button at the same time. And that's it! You're done! Go out there and screenshot the world. Save all those sexy Snapchats you've been getting. For more how-tos and tips, check out techhive.com/video.
Alex Royal here. Are you ready to update to Windows 8.1? Great, because I'm going to show you how. The first thing you need to do is open up your Windows 8 Store app and find the big, prominent button that's going to say Update to Windows 8.1. But don't click it yet. Before that, do me a favor and back up your critical files. You should be okay. If the installation goes wrong, you can probably roll back to a previous version, but just in case, do me a favor, back everything up. Don't worry, I'll wait. Okay, now that you're ready to go ahead and get in there and click that big button that says Update to Windows 8.1. That should download a file, and when you open it, it starts the Windows Update Standalone Installer. Go ahead and click Yes, let it run, and your PC will restart. The biggest change you'll notice is probably the new Start button, which you can find in the bottom left corner of the desktop. Hit it, and it will take you to the Windows 8 Start menu. There are two key options you want to enable if you want to get the most from your Windows 8.1 experience. Go ahead and right-click on the taskbar, select Properties, and open the Navigation tab. Enable the option to go to the desktop instead of Start Screen when I sign in, which is going to cause your PC to automatically boot to your desktop instead of the Start Screen. The second thing you want to switch on is the Show the Apps view automatically when I go to Start option. It seems like a small thing, I know, but what it does is make it so that every time you go to the Start Screen, you go right to your list of programs, which I think makes it a lot easier to be productive. Of course, that's just the tip of what's new with Windows 8.1. There are all new apps, new interface tweaks, tons of little options you got to get in there and play around with to really understand. So go ahead, jump right in, mess around a little bit, and have some fun. For more Windows 8.1 coverage, check out PCWorld.com.
This is Macworld's Senior Editor Dan Morin. With all the options on the Apple TV these days, loading up that grid of icons can often be overwhelming. Here are a couple of quick tips to organize the Apple TV's home screen to your liking. First off, you can rearrange most of the icons on the Apple TV so that the ones you frequently use are at the top of the screen. For example, if you're a baseball fan, you might want to move MLB.TV farther up on your screen. Use the directional keys to select the MLB TV icon, then press and hold the select key. Just as on iOS, the icon will begin to wiggle about. You can now use the directional buttons on your remote to move it to a new location. As you do so, the existing apps will shift out of the way. When you've found a spot that you like, just press the select button again and the icon will stay put. Note that you can't move items in the first row of icons or move other icons into that first row. Those spots are reserved for content from the iTunes Store and your own computers. If there are stations that you'll know you never want to watch, you can also hide them from view by using the Restrictions feature. Just go to the General section of the Apple TV's Settings menu and select Restrictions. Choose Turn on Restrictions and you'll be prompted to enter and confirm a 4-digit passcode. The feature is intended for parents to control access for their kids, but you can just use 0000 or something equally simple. Once you've enabled the feature, scroll down and you'll see a list of all the channels on the Apple TV. For most, you can choose between 3 options: Show, Hide, and Ask. The latter leaves the icon on the home screen but prompts you for the passcode when you try to access it. Choose Hide for any channels you don't want to see, and then hold the menu key to return to the home screen. There you have it, a reorganized, friendlier, and overall less cluttered Apple TV interface. This is Macworld Senior Editor Dan Morin. Thanks for watching. This is Macworld Senior Editor Dan Morin. If you've ever set up a network service on your Mac, you may have encountered the arcane term port forwarding. Port forwarding lets people outside your local network access a service on one of your home machines by forwarding specific traffic to that machine. Think of it like creating a rule in your mail client to forward only email from specific senders to a different address. Technologies do exist to automate port forwarding, but they aren't always compatible, so it helps to know exactly how to configure the process manually. For this video, I'm going to show you how to forward a port to your Mac using an airport base station. Different types of routers have different interfaces, but the principle remains the same. Portforward.com is a good resource for instructions. First things first, find the port number that you need to forward to. For this example, I'm using an open source app called MapTool, which lets me play online games with my friends. I know from its server configuration screen that it expects incoming traffic on port 51234. Launching Airport Utility, I select my router and click Edit. The port forwarding section is listed under the Network tab and labeled Port Settings. To create a new forwarding rule, click the plus button. The following sheet might look daunting, but it's fairly straightforward. For description, enter the name of the service, in this case, MapTool. The public ports are the ports that my friends will enter when they want to access my server. To make things simple, I'm going to use the same port number for the public and private connections, but you could use a different public-facing number if you need to. UDP and TCP are 2 different types of networking protocols. If in doubt, enter the same information for both. By default, Airport Utility fills in the IP address of the machine that you're using as the address of the computer to which you want to forward traffic, but you can enter the IP of any machine on your network. The private port number is the port we looked up at the beginning, 51234. Once all the data is filled in, hit Update and you're good to go. Now my friends can access my server at my external IP address and the port number I specified. To find your external IP address, it's often quickest to visit a site like whatismyip.com. To make things even easier, I could use a dynamic DNS setup to replace the external IP address with a more human-friendly domain name. But that's a tip for another time.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Philip Michaels, and Steve Jobs may have hated the idea of using a stylus on your tablet or phone, but they can be incredibly useful